Oh, this chain is so dull. I just took on a nasty hackberry that was like falling apart on these people's house. And apparently there was an eye bolt inside of it, about 4 inches inside behind the cambium layer. I ended up cutting it long ways. Really ruined this chain. I've got a couple oaks to do tomorrow. One good sized one, one kind of skinny one that grows up next to it. They're actually quite a drive away, and we just have to get it on the ground. But I dug out the old GPM shirt from Corey McDivitt. I still got the shirt and still rocking it. Yeah, how'd everybody else's Monday go? You guys go all right? Joshua, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Douglas Black's typical Monday. Start out slow and then dive right into the work week. 100%. It's kind of how I do it too. I would think my Mondays usually, as I get there, they take the longest for me to, to get set up. Is usually a Monday. Not all that excited to get going, coming off of a couple days off and stuff. So yeah, I am that same way. My Monday setup, it take a little bit longer than normal. So had a pretty gnarly dead elm tree today, and the wind is insane outside right now. And it was pretty bad up in the tree. We got like a break as soon as we got to the job. Oh. Yeah, as soon as I got to the job, I had a break in the wind. But then as soon as we got to work, and it started blowing again like crazy. So it was pretty rough. We made it through it. Oh, we have a few characters here. Mike Chaveria. What's going on, man? How you doing, Mike? Michael Fights. What are you doing, buddy? How's it going? How's the tree work going? Robert's here. What's up, man? I ain't seen you in a while. Good day. Right on. That's what I like to hear. Yo, Matthew Stone. What's going on, man? Wait 120 minutes, then enjoyed some CBD rest of the day. Right on. Right on. It's awesome. Sunny and 70 here, no wind, next 2 days. That's awesome. Yeah, like I said, it was probably 70 here today, but the wind was gnarly. It was ripping in pretty bad. Had a pretty nasty Kodam elm tree that was pretty far gone, and as we were doing it, I have my new buddy who works for me, Dave, up and quit and left me hanging like he always does, and got a different job for some reason. And then so I have one of my old skateboard buddies that actually helps me, and he's more like me, when you do something, you want to be good at it. No matter what it is that you do, you want to be good at it. I mean, I'm that same way. You can tell that he really wants to be really good on the ropes and rigging and stuff, and he's coming along fast. I'm excited to see like how good of a team we can end up being in the long run, because of how serious I feel like he'll actually take the job. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I've never had a ground guy that I felt was like dead on like that, that I could make a great team with and stuff. Dave on occasion would have good days, but to trust that he would be like that on the regular was always bad. Um, and he was hit and miss with if he was going to be good that day or not. So I'm really excited about the whole Ryan thing. I was telling him a story about a cherry tree that I have at my other place, and is a honeybee hive, and it's hollow. So he asked me if I ever tried to get honey out of it, and I was like, yeah. The first time I ever tried to go up there and get the honey out, all of a sudden these big old lizards that were about this long, they're like brown with orange bellies, and I've seen them once before when I was really young. I've never really seen them other than that, but they were up there eating honeybees one at a time as they were coming out of the hole. They were just eating them. So I tell him that story, and we get to working on this tree, and all of a sudden, one about that long crawls out of the tree that we're working on, starts crawling up it, and he kind of hung around us while we were working, which is pretty neat. Just kind of that weird coincidence. You tell a story earlier that day, and then all of a sudden, you run into the same thing that you've only seen one other time in your life. It's just strange. So I thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, we recorded today. I hate to tell you guys, but as of like right now, I am down to only one camera. One of my cameras shorted out and won't work, so it's broke. I'm down to a single camera, which is a real bummer. I plan on getting another one for you guys so we can have multiple views and stuff. Also, get the next upgrade for a little better picture quality. But yeah, just so you guys are aware, as of like right now, um, it'll just be a single camera view, and I'll work that camera around a lot more than I normally do because of it. If I'm being honest, I don't know how long it'll be before I can afford to go ahead and get the new one. So it may be a little bit. I may get it soon. I can't really tell. I mean, it kind of depends on how things work out. But yeah, just I don't want you guys thinking like I'm half-assing the videos or anything. It's just it is what it is. The camera just finally crapped out. And that was my impact camera, which is a real bummer. I loved that one, but it is what it is. Busy as hell. Oak trees today, about 17 of them. Damn, Mike, get her done. Hello, everyone. Real man. Oh, Red Man. Red Man, right on. How you doing, bud? Hard to find a ground guy that is on top of their stuff. Yeah. Gotta run holler. Right on, Mike. Stay safe, buddy. Yeah, it's hard to find one that wants to do anything other than just collect a paycheck. Matthew Stone. Yeah, it just that's kind of all I wanted to do, and most of them that I've ever had. Most of them are very intimidated by what they're doing, and are not quick to react. Ryan has a comprehension and an understanding that's like a next level from the guys that I've normally had. Um, Simple explanations, and the guy picks it up. So he's at home like watching videos, trying to get himself better. Um, yeah, I mean, it's nice to see a guy like that. For me to ever be able to make this a long-term thing, I have to teach somebody to do this job, and I've yet to find that person that I feel like deserves the time spent. I've tried teaching people, but most of them that I've tried end up quitting, or you know, they just don't get it. They don't want to do it. They get scared. They back out. So yeah, excited to see where this whole thing with Ryan goes. I think he's going to be a real good ground guy. So I may have just jinxed that. I mean, that's how my life usually goes. I say something's good and then it screws up, but we'll see. Um, like I said, we got a couple good oaks to do tomorrow. We got like one. Okay, so there's like a privacy fence that the trees grow up next to. It goes like here and here. It goes right in the corner. Maybe some electric lines. I'm not for sure. But we have one solid oak and then another skinny oak that grows off the side here. I'm thinking the skinny one, I'll rig the whole thing down, maybe even whole. Put a ring up into the bigger oak and run it over. And then even though this one leans hard to the side, as long as this one's straight, I can put my notch face in this direction and have a rig and rope going over to it, and we'll keep it from where it can't break and go sideways, go through the fence or onto the house or anything. We'll keep that overcompensated, like tagline basically with it, and it will lower it down with the rigging line. I can free fall a bunch of the front stuff here, but everything on the back side will have to be rigged down. We have pretty good um, drop zone, so I should be able to plant some pretty good sized logs. But yeah, that's the game plan for tomorrow. Um, like I said, I cut an eye bolt long ways, so like I totally ruined this damn chain. So I'm out here sharpening it. I was just finished skating. I was out there on my skateboard for a little bit, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get in here and get some saws ready for tomorrow. And then I remembered, oh crap, it's Monday, and I said I would continue to do live feeds on Mondays. So I forgot. But the other thing I have to work on, I've been climbing for about a week with no screw in this at all. So yeah, definitely need to put a screw in that. I don't know if any of you guys ever have issues with your gaffs. You can see how small my gaff is. I prefer pole gaffs. If you look, the flat part here sits out further than the actual spike, so I can limb walk and not have the gaff sticking all the time. Also, just it's small, it's closer to the gaff. It's not way out here like a tree gaff would be. The closer you can get the inset of your foot, the bend inside of your foot to the tree, the more comfortable and stable you're going to feel. So that's why I feel like pole gaffs are the best, as far as that goes. These are pads. This is an aftermarket additional pad. If any of you ever have trouble with your gaffs rubbing up against your ankle bone or leaving blisters, these pads slide down over it. It's a pretty thick little pad from Weaver. I have them on both my spikes, but yeah, these are a little bit heavy, but they're just insanely comfortable. So I'll give up a bit of weight for comfort. That's just, I mean, if that's the way it's got to be, I would rather be comfortable in my spikes in case I have to be in them for a long period of time, as opposed to the weight, because then big bucks are a bit heavy. But on the other hand, I also use aluminum gaffs, so that weight that I save there by not using steel gaffs is basically used by the big version of the pad. So I had to get rid of one guy because he just wasn't listening to me. Yeah, it's I hate to fire anybody or let anybody go. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think this is a scary job, man. It takes a special breed to want to do it, and I feel like those that get into this, you need to want to do it, because if you don't want to do it, then your attention's not going to be there, and you can get somebody hurt. Um, Today I had a real bad scare. Um, since my accident, I've been, oh Turbo, what's going on? Right on. Um, Going pretty good. Oh, what was that, Scoot? Yeah, I think I'm due for a new set of spikes. Yeah, me too, Scoot. I really am. I should get some new ones, but I like my old stuff. Yeah, today I had a really bad scare, guys. Since my accident, I've been a little more cautious. I mean, just in general, a bit more cautious. Today, at some point, I don't know if my line snagged something, but I dropped about 6 feet. I went completely weightless and dropped. I think my line was snagged onto something. I don't really know. Probably wasn't 6 feet. It's probably like 4, and I just freaked out. But instantly, I got a flashback from when I fell. because the only thing I remember from falling was a scraping noise and weightlessness. Then I woke up and my body's ruined. My ribs are sticking out, which they're still sticking out right now. So, um, yeah, just maybe a quick reminder to myself to maybe slow it down a step again. Just yeah, just scary. I don't know. This job's not for everyone, and it's dangerous. And so I don't know. I actually despise people that get into this job and don't take it serious, because either they'll end up hurting someone or getting themselves hurt, which could shut a business down or maybe ruin someone else's life. You know, if as a ground guy, you're not listening, you put yourself in a bad spot, you get hurt, you get crippled. I rigged a branch one time and it hit the tree, and I told the guys where not to stand. That's why you'll hear me talk about the shard path a lot. Well, when you're rigging branches, especially when you're dealing with dead trees, you get the shard path, which is your branch. You know, your let's say this is your tree. You're rigging it off. It comes down. It hits, and it sends shards of junk this way. Well, we did a big one. I swung it. It hit, and the big chunk flew off and hit one of the guys. They were standing exactly where I told them not to stand. Told them where to stand, had them set out of the way. Then all of a sudden, the ground foreman, apparently walked over and readjusted everybody and put them right into the drop or the path of that. I cut it. I turned to see them. Oh no, they're standing in the worst spot. So at that time, just like pray that everything goes. Well, it comes off, it hits, it sprays them, and a good chunk hits one of the guys, and he was all right at first, but the fear and all the craziness ended up making him pass out. I've never seen anything like it, and I thought I hurt the guy. I was crying. I was upset. I thought I hurt somebody, and that fucked with my head really, really, really bad. Um, Luckily, the guy came back to work that day. He was fine. He Something happened that made him pass out, but I thought I knocked him out, and I just the worst fear of mine. Yeah, hurt myself is bad, but hurting someone else is the scariest thing in the world to me, and I don't ever want to have to deal with that. So I just anybody that decides to get into this, just take it serious. You know, you're playing games with something that you shouldn't. Oh no, no, Turbo, I'm good. I'm good. I just had just I guess my line had snagged onto something. It popped loose, and I dropped down a few feet and didn't know what happened. That kind of stuff, in my opinion, happens a lot more often when you are base anchoring, because your line almost wants to pull itself back, and make a droop in it. I don't know what was snagged, to tell you the truth. Just scary, scary. The feeling of weightlessness is one of my biggest fears, because you know something's wrong when you feel weightlessness. You have all this gear on, you're heavy, your chainsaws, saddle, spikes, all this stuff on you. For you to be weightless at any point is bad news. You should be heavy. You should be pulling down on a line. You should feel your gear weight on your body and stuff. The feeling of, oh, I'm weightless for a second means you're free falling. And that's insanely scary. So I've just, it really kind of bummed me out. Sure, kind of changed the mood real quick. It definitely did. But no, thank you, Turbo. Yeah, I'm good. I don't know. I don't know. This job's scary. That my accident made me. I'm a head case as it is. Like, I'm always in my own head. I'm the type of guy that needs a game plan for everything. I'm thinking a few moves ahead. What could happen if it goes wrong? I use that in just everything. So I play all the bad scenarios out with the good in my head to determine which way that I want to go, and I'm always playing the odds with everything. That made me do that even more. So I was a bit of a head case before my accident. I'm a big head case now, so it is what it is. That's me. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to talk about. Like I said, I got to sharpen my chainsaw. I'm sure that you guys don't want to just sit here and watch me sharpen the saw. So I'll probably end this live feed, and I have the last part for the tree in the house video, the 2-story home. I'm working on it. We are now down to the bottom story, and the stipulation to the rest of the job is that we need to get it cut down the rest of the way and get the stump below the concrete. Yeah. The tree comes out of the basement, concrete, and I need to get it below the concrete. So, that's probably going to be a bit tricky and a bit of a pain. Also, you know, it's in that second story, so we got it all the way down to that point. So, you know, I'm trying to figure out a way to keep from having to actually climb the tree and be attached to it. So I sit around, like I said, on my head case. I like to come up with a game plan way beforehand. I spent the days before trying to think of, you know, I actually even drew the place up on a piece of paper and looked at it. I tried to come up with a game plan to get, you know, the stalk that was left. We got a roof up here, and then we're down here. Think I'm gonna take my little ladder, set it up here, and my little step ladder, cut the first piece, and the guys will lift it up onto the second floor, and then throw it off the side. Then we'll piece everything down from there. It's too high to be pushing the stuff off and the guys grabbing it and trying to catch it and stuff, so I'll probably use a spare tire, bring a tire and a little bit of brush, and drop the chunks right onto an old tire. Actually, it wasn't an old tire, it was a good tire that's probably junk now, but yeah, so you guys kind of know where we're going to go and how we'll come into the next video. And then after that, it's just be a free-for-all with a lot of videos. Probably going to try to stay away from these multiple video series for a little bit and just give you content. So, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys, you know, giving me your time. I hope everybody had a good Monday. Everybody's healthy. Hang on, I got a comment here I want to read. It looks like a pretty good one. Brian Baker. I felt that weightlessness for less than a split second when a branch broke out from under me last week. Yeah. It was terrifying. I fell about 2 feet when my ribs met the trunk. Glad you're good. Hey, I'm glad you're good, buddy. That's a quick reminder to us to slow down a bit, you know, err on the side of caution. And I feel like I've been taking some chances here lately that I shouldn't. So I you know when you're playing your cards, and you don't want to play them out completely. So it's fun to look over the edge, but you don't want to fall, literally. So yeah, I'm gonna pull back a bit. Hopefully things kind of steady themselves out. I'll let you guys know when we get another camera in here, so we can, you know, get back to the footage the normal way. Like I said, I hope you guys had a good Monday, and I hope you're safe, healthy, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for hanging out. Turbo, Scoot, Brian, Mike, both Mikes, Michael, Josh, all you guys, thanks for hanging out, and I will catch you soon. Stay safe. See you, Brian. You too, Turbo. See you, Scott.